Hello, everyone, and welcome to another Link to the Past Randomizer main tournament race. This is Group F, a race between KillerApp23 and Penny Royal Oil with some very real group standings on the line. I'm Sorcerer Finch. I'm joined in the booth with Slumberjack. How are you doing today?
Hey, doing great. Excited to be here. Just got out of work and excited for some good old Zelda. Some Key Sanity, I believe, is the mode that we're going to be playing today, which is one of my favorite modes to play. It's very, very fun to figure out that additional bit of the logic puzzle that is created by the keys in Key Sanity.
Right. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this race. We are also joined with Lochpoi, who is tracking for us, pressing the buttons, keeping us honest. So thank you very much for helping us with tracking. And yeah, Key Sanity, where the maps, the compasses, most of the small keys and most of the big keys are shuffled into the general item pool. One of the nice things is we will also see safety, like we might see the golden sword, we might see silvers, we might see armor upgrades. But yeah, anything could be anywhere. This should be a really exciting match.
Yeah, and you were telling me just before this race, there's another reason why this is an exciting match, is this whole entire group has the potential for a three-way tie for the first place contender. This race has some serious implications about that. Can you elaborate on that?
Sure. So right now, KillerApp23 and Penny Royale, by the way, starting out from Link's house, getting just a compass, they are both 3-1 in this group. There is a chance if Penny Royal Oil does win, they are on to the bracket stage. And then the rest of it, then the second place finisher will be between KillerApp and Homemade Beer, also in Group F. And whoever wins their next race will claim the runner-up spot. If KillerApp wins, there is a possibility for a three-way tie with three runners, KillerApp23, Penny Royal Oil, and Homemade Beer, all being 4-2, and 2-2 against each other.
Yeah, so there's a lot going on in this whole entire group. Early on so far, we've seen the Tier 1 tree pull with just some small magics. Guards seem to drop a 5 rupee on the very first one, and some bombs very early. Always good to have before going to Kakariko.
Also finding that bottle before we go to Kakariko, so it's an additional check that we can make along the way.
Very, very convenient. Now, we'll see if the runners choose to check the Lumberjack or not, or if they're just going to gun it for Kakariko. I sometimes in Key Sanity like to check it just in case there's a small key or a big key that I need to remember is up there, but looks like both runners just opting to skip Lumberjack altogether.
Right, and yeah, I can imagine checking this once you have the boots, once you have some ability to be able to see, like, oh yeah, we might actually need to get this.
Yeah.
But there is a good chance that there is a key in Lost Woods. We'll find out what key that is shortly.
Very useful.
Right, we might need a couple of those, especially since in this version of Key Sanity, the Ganas Tower big key will be in Ganas Tower, as well. The Castle Tower small keys will be in Castle Tower. That's the climb up to Aghanim 1. Other than that, all the keys are shuffled.
Very good note to make, and I think that's partly because you folks in chat probably don't want to watch every single Key Sanity race be an AGA small key hunt in the end. So this will add a little bit of variance to like what Go mode potentially looks like, and make it a little bit more fun to watch and to play as well. No one likes hunting for that one small key.
Right, like the one small key in for Swamp's Palace access as well.
Oh, true, yeah. I mean, that's still gonna probably happen or something like that, but...
I mean, yeah. But we're going to go ahead and start getting our Kakariko village checks, and there's a small key to Pod. It's always nice to find early small keys for Pod.
Yeah, early small keys for Pod helps you, like, when you get into the Dark World, it really helps, like, pull you in a certain direction. Like, because if you enter Dark World with, like, 4 Pod small keys, you might be a lot more inclined to head over there sooner rather than later. But if you only find that 1 or 2, you might hold off on it for a little while.
All right. Meanwhile, the sprites that we have, one of our sprites is a can of Sprite. I appreciate the killer app sprite there, and then we also have an invisible outline of Link over on Pennyroyal Oil's side.
I'll be curious to see what flavors of Sprite we get as we find the males.
Right, and there's a map for Skullwood. So those maps, if this is your first time watching Key Sanity mode and the Big Key of Desert, those maps will let us know if a particular dungeon is a crystal, which is absolutely required, or just a pendant, which may or may not be required. And
Small key to desert, yeah. So we have both the big and a small key.
Right, that's going to make things a little interesting. If we find an early book, we do find the Ether Medallion.
Oh, good call by KillerApp. Trading in a B right there, it gets you 100 rupees, and then you just spend the 100 rupees right back. Something else you want to notice with those B turn-ins is you do it on the left side of the merchant, because otherwise the B attempts to attack the duck.
Right. And there's a second small key for mod.
I wonder where we're going to be going sometime soon.
And meanwhile, Pennyroyal Oil is doing a little bit different. Did not release that B, so it's opting to fill up on bombs. There's a house just southwest in Kakariko Village that for one bomb you can get 4 bombs. You can go right back in for a couple times. So we're gonna get a couple checks there.
Good little chicken toss right there. And holding on to that B, not the worst case when you don't have a weapon yet, and Mini Moldorm is in the future, because that B will clear that room out for you.
Yep, but it looks like Pennyroyal goes ahead and lets that B out in Chicken House.
All right, well, never mind.
And it might not be, and it still might not be the worst, just a blue P up on the library ledge. It still might not be the worst, because now you do have availability for a potion if you so choose.
Mm-hmm. And that looks like another blue P over on Race Game.
So Kakariko Village was pretty empty. We did get a couple of pod keys. We're gonna looks like go ahead and check at least what's on Lake Hylia Island, and then we'll see if KillerApp goes back and does South Shore or goes up to Sassarilla's Closet and potentially the front of Eastern.
KillerApp seeing, I think that was it was 100 or 300 rupees there on Hyrule Lake Island. But getting some bombs because he didn't farm the ones in the village.
Yep. And either way, money will probably not get picked up, even if we do end up doing Zora. KillerApp is going to go ahead towards the Eastern Palace area. Pennyroyal is going to go ahead and give us South Shore, with the possibility of, if we get access to Desert, we might also see Desert.
Yeah, the early Eastern Palace dip, I think, is a lot more common in Key Sanity. If this were like a regular open mode or something like that, you might see people trying to avoid this for as long as possible. But when you don't even know if it's a crystal or pendant, then I can see just being like, I'm going to risk it's a pendant, and I'm never going to come back here.
Right, and speaking of pendants, we just found out that the big key for Tower Hera is in the dam chest, and that Hera is a green pendant. So, not required, but if you do complete it, and it's a pretty quick dungeon, you'll get an extra item out of it.
Yeah, pretty quick if you have the hook shot. It's a tiny bit of a slog if you don't, but both of these runners with the hook shot, up they go super quick.
Right, and we still do need a couple items to even get to there. But Pennyroyal going to go ahead and finish out South Shore. We'll see if they continue on to Ice Rod Cave. But this is our first look into Eastern Palace in the meantime.
Yeah, and the other good thing about Eastern Palace early, in this particular case, is you can do all the checks here without a weapon, basically. Like, the only time you need a weapon for the entire dungeon is to kill the boss and some things in the back. But we're not going to be seeing those right now.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Pennyroyal, ooh, and there's Fire Rod and Ice Rod.
Oh, hey!
And a Power Glove and a book, ooh.
Oh, there's that book for those 2 keys. Now just give us some boots and a fire source. Oh no, we have a fire source. So, no.
Right, yeah. That was a pretty hype cave right there.
Yeah, that was very good.
That was a hype cave, unlike the hype cave. Penny Royal doing a good job dodging that crab because for some reason crabs do 2 hearts of damage even in the light world.
They do so much unnecessary damage this early in the game.
Right. Now, we're likely going to need that fire rod. We might need that ice rod that KillerApp picked up. We will not know until we figure out kind of more about Turtle Rock.
Yeah, and I mean, once we find a pair of gloves, we can go and kill Landmo at this point.
Ooh, that's a good point. And with the gloves that Penny Royal already has.
Oh, there we go. I didn't even notice the gloves.
Yep, it was also in Mini Moldorm. It was a pretty hype cave. But Penny Royal opting instead to go ahead and now this might be purchasing bombs as well.
Yep.
But we'll see if Penny Royal goes towards the Eastern Palace area or dips over to desert.
That did look like 300 rupees on that island.
All right, and KillerApp going to go ahead and check the big key chest. Now, this is technically out of logic. This is one of the easier to memorize dark rooms in the game. So this is why KillerApp's just going to go ahead and do it in the dark. It's a very long trip to come back to this chest, so definitely feels like a good idea to do that. And Penny Royal is definitely, it looks like, is going to go ahead and go towards desert.
Very good choice, in my opinion. And small key 2. Oh, hello.
Ooh.
Good old Swamp Palace. So we're not going to be on a Swamp Palace small key hunt today.
Yeah, because even though those castle tower keys might be pretty tough to find, the Swamp Palace one, there's only one key that you need in Swamp, but there's only one in there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And KillerApp looks like we'll go ahead and we'll see if KillerApp makes the same play, the same South Shore checks, and to continue on to desert.
Oh, the ever so useful map to Hyrule Castle, which tells us nothing.
Yep. Hyrule Castle is neither. It just is.
It just exists.
And we may see, and with those gloves, we may also see Back of Escape at some point. It's pretty quick, 3 items, especially after you finish up desert. That heart container might be worth fetching. Better a heart container than a piece of heart, but it just depends on how you feel. 4 hearts is pretty low.
Yeah, you were talking about Hyrule Castle. I can definitely see that happening. With the fire rod as well, it puts all of it into logic. So
now, unfortunately, KillerApp is going to desert. However, the access for desert was just one more cave over.
oh, but darn. Well, we'll at least see. Oh, he didn't get the book. Okay, I see.
Yeah,
That's
we're missing.
all right.
Yeah, we're missing, and the book, the fire rod, and the power glove were all in Mini Moldorm Cave.
Mm-hmm. So he's going to get that little prize package and be like, ugh. Of course.
Right. Now, this right here, Penny Royal, fortunately, in a dungeon, it's not going to be too bad if you have to come back in, but right now, the only weapon we have is, I guess, that fire rod and bombs.
I mean, honestly, some of those hits might have been intentional because we can just take a death warp here and get back to the center of the dungeon a lot quicker.
That's a good point, and looks like that is going to go ahead and be the case for Penny Royal.
All right, KillerApp about to get their Desert Palace starter pack.
I guess the only item we cannot get right now is the torch at this point. So we will check and see if we're going to need those boots somewhere.
Potentially?
Yeah, and KillerApp's going to get the bad news here.
KillerApp, this is where you're supposed to go now. Oh,
And speaking of where you're supposed to go now, we just found the Moon Pearl.
oh, nice. So we are just a mitt or a hammer away from Dark World.
And, Dark World within 15 minutes, that feels pretty good as a runner.
Yeah, that feels really good.
To answer a question in chat, the torch was a small key of some variety.
Yeah, we will not know until later. Maybe we will never find out. It really just depends on what we need. It could be the 6-pod small key that may never be needed. So,
yep. And it does look like that heart container down on the desert ledge was the Sank heart, refilling all of Pennyroyal's hearts.
well, that's very nice of it. All right, if I had to guess, Killer App is either probably going to follow suit, right?
I would imagine so. You don't know if it's a crystal or pendant dungeon quite yet, but we're going to see some bomb strats. And at this point, Pennyroyal is just trying to save on magic as much because you're going to need that magic for the Landmo fight.
Yeah, exactly, and completely understandable. And like when you have so many items screaming at you, "Go kill the Desert Palace boss," then yeah,
Right. Unfortunately, only took 1 heart of damage. There are 2 hearts available in pots in this next room, so going to be fine on health. Still going to be... You don't want things to get too out of control still, but it should be fine.
yeah. This okay. We have bombs at the very least. So, and there's also a magic refill in that top right pot. So we do have 6 shots. It looks like, and that can wipe out the bosses. And then we just have to hope that's all we need.
Right. This fight can get spicy. Does miss one of the shots.
Oh, I don't know how much bombs do to land. Oh no.
Oh.
We only have 3 bombs, and I don't think that's going to do it. Okay. And we're out of ammunition. It's unfortunate. Oh, and Killer App, I think, realizing maybe I shouldn't be using this fire rod right now.
Yeah, Killer App's not going to have enough magic at this point, unfortunately.
So maybe we're banking on like a full magic refill. Oh gosh. I mean, they at least in the long run have that bottle that they can lean back on. So if they don't find anything anywhere else, or if something's back here where Pennyroyal is going right now, they can get a magic refill, come back, do it right the second time.
And Pennyroyal did go ahead and pick up a bomb, so we'll able to check these 3 checks right here. And
bailed out.
and there is Dark World access at the 16-minute, about 45-second mark.
That must feel at least okay. Well, at least I'm going somewhere. I don't have to go back to desert right now. You know, that's at least a little bit nice to see.
Right, or I don't have to walk all the way to go get a magic refill, drink that potion, and then go get another magic refill. And yeah, that doesn't sound good as someone fighting for a spot still to make brackets. I was mentioning earlier, if Pennyroyal wins, they're in, and I think they do win the group. It does get complicated if Killer App wins, including the possibility of a 3-way tie, things can get kind of dicey.
Killer App also opting to pick up that heart, and let's see what's on chest game. Bit of love.
A little bit of love. Honestly, the 100 rupee prize, as you're starting to get close to Zora money, so that doesn't feel too bad.
I'll be careful with this bomb.
Right. At this point, a bomb does 1 heart of damage, and it's a bit of a walk. Nice bomb refill, though.
Weaving right between those spears. What do we got in the sea house? $20.
Ooh, okay. So KillerApp picking up that magic as well. I don't think Penny Royal had picked up that magic pot.
No, they did not. And that with this right here, oh, does Killer App have enough magic?
That is not enough magic.
I don't think so. I think Killer App's gonna run the same thing and realize, yeah, they don't have enough.
Although by taking a death here and by keeping half of your magic, I mean, it doesn't feel great warping. Oh, they do save and quit out of here. But they did have the option to potentially pick up a little bit more magic kind of along the way if you want to farm magic that way. But that can get kind of slow, and you don't even know if this is the required way to get to the Dark World. Or
and you don't know if your opponent did it first try and like, why should I like just keep hacking at this? I can come back later kind of thing and hope that my progression is somewhere else, which he is about to find.
Right. I mean, while Penny Royal is going to go ahead and take Jeremiah on a little bit of a stroll through Hyrule.
Jeremiah's World Tour. Here we go. That's a good key to find early.
Right. So, but now the question becomes, where do you think that hammer is going to turn up?
Hype Cave. I'm optimistic.
you know, we might have an actual hype cave here on our hands. We'll find out in about a minute or so. Ooh, okay, good screen transition there by Penny Royal. Because those flying mushrooms, I don't know their names, but they do a lot of damage. They're annoying, they're pesky, and this is not a fun situation on one heart.
Yeah. Ooh, that bombardier. Okay, we're good.
We are fine.
Oh, I called it.
Well, speaking of, well, that's already a 10 out of 10. Oh, and hey, if you want to see what Desert Palace actually is, and you know, the shovel makes it a good hype cave, or the hammer. The shovel, you get a fetch quest, but with that hammer, this is going to be a true world tour now.
Yeah, we're going all the way to Catfish, and we're going to be checking the bomb shop because this wonderful gentleman will tell us where our red crystals are.
Mire and ice.
That is vanilla, I believe.
Those are the 5 and 6 dungeons.
Yep. So, I mean, they're flip-flops. We got a 6 and 5 situation, but for all intents and purposes, that's pretty much vanilla.
And that does give us the first 2 pieces of crystal knowledge. Right now, we only know once Penny Royal gets back to the Light World, would have the ability to check out what Desert Palace is by picking up that map. So that's why maps can be pretty useful, especially in the early game when you don't know what dungeons are actually required versus not. And there's our first sword.
Oh, beautiful. And I do see KillerApp opting not to check the back of Skullwoods. There is one chest that is in logic right now because he doesn't have a sword, but there is the bridge chest he could have done, just not opting to do it. He grabbed the small key from the back and then just kind of charged forward.
Yeah, and it's a pretty slow check to make overall for one chest. Yep. Meanwhile, you have Village of Outcasts.
And finishing out our world tour is going to be the Catfish check, if you didn't say that already. Best thing that could drop here maybe is like, how much rupees do we have? If we only had 120 more, if they gave us like a mirror right now, that would be super sweet. But alas.
The mirror would be great if we also could get the rupees, or maybe flippers, because that would at least put the waterfall and put this area a little bit more likely to get revisited sooner.
Yep.
But mirror's probably going to be either required or at the very least nice. But that was just a piece of heart.
Now, I remember Pennyroyal going through Village of Outcasts. Did we see Pennyroyal go slightly into Thieves Town?
We did not. So that's going to be so far we haven't seen anything to write home about in Thieves Town, but we'll keep an eye on that. Meanwhile, Pennyroyal is going to go ahead and approach Kakariko from the south, so be able to pick up the shovel and turn in the smith at roughly at the same time.
Huh. All right.
Well, there's our third pod key right there.
And depending on how brave you are, that may start pushing you in that direction. But I would want to wait until that fourth small pops up.
Yeah. And to answer your question in chat, Hammer was indeed in Hype Cave. Johnny Two Bombs had it for us today. Oh, and I was wondering, I had missed what KillerApp had picked up in that last chest. It was the flute.
Oh my. Okay. That's very useful. KillerApp also playing the chest game and not getting the 100 rupees, unfortunately. They got a sad 1 rupee. Unfortunate. Yeah, they have the Zora money already.
Right. So yeah, they'll be fine on that front. The question will now just be kind of if KillerApp ups to go do Zora, which you can do logically. You might want to leap in Waterfall Cave out of logic, but we'll see kind of what they choose to do.
Yeah, I imagine holding off on it for a hot minute until you can route it in with the other things that are over there. But, if there's no other options, it's not a terrible check to do. It's pretty bad, though.
Right. And you also do have some of the mountain available to you. Although with the flute, at least some of it's in logic, but that might be put off for a little bit later.
Pennyroyal getting their green pendant information for Tower of Hera. And then I think for the next little bit, we're going to see a little bit of retracing of each other's steps here for the next couple minutes. So, another shout out again to our tracker. I believe their name is pronounced Lapoy. Thank you so much, doing the work behind the scenes, pushing the buttons, doing a great job. And also, I see some people putting links in chat. That's you. Follow the runners. Follow us if you really want to. These runners are putting on a show for us. They're making themselves available for our entertainment, and you can get more of that if you follow them.
So we'll go ahead and see kind of what KillerApp, how they choose to route. And it looks like they did get a friendlier pattern, at least through there, but
they're still one hit away from like everything here except for the spears.
Right, the spears will do 1 heart, but why not just dodge everything?
Ray Hammer. And I imagine KillerApp is also going to complete their world tour all the way up to Catfish.
Yeah, at this point, it's going to be the best chance that you have to do that. As an isolated check, Catfish feels pretty bad to leave behind. You don't really have a lot more that you can do either.
Right. And Catfish is always one of those things. It's like, well, if I'm gonna do it, I might as well do it now. There's some races where it's like a lot easier because you have like just enough items where like maybe I can route it in with North Dark World, or like if you have the mirror, you can be like, maybe I can route it with Zora. But when we have nothing except for the gloves to get to it right now, it's kind of like I guess I gotta do it.
Right. And granted, if we were doing the inverted key sanity version of this, then it would be probably one of the quicker checks to make as well, because with the tournament's inverted key sanity, you start out with an activated flute. You can flute to 2 and just walk right up to Catfish.
Assuming you have the gloves, I believe.
You're absolutely right. Need at least 1 glove for that.
Yep.
And Killer App seeing that sword and saying, yes, please.
Penny Royal pulling off some amazing stuns. Look at them go.
Such
Joke that he
action.
All right, so I'm curious to see where Penny Royal goes after this. Like, do they take their sword and their fire rod and finally go, maybe I go to Desert Palace boss? Or what options do they even have at the moment? I mean,
So
they
they
could
can-
take those 3 to Pod. Oh, but that would be a long trip.
You could complete out Thieves Town at this point. You've got a sword, you've got a hammer. You don't know if it's a crystal or a pendant, but it's going to be a decent number of checks. If
true.
it's slow.
Oh, no, we're doing Pod, baby.
All right, and this is a good spot to do it. You've got a pretty safe way back down over to the portal here. So I like this play as well. The game gave you 3 small keys for pods, so you can clear out a good amount, at least logically, I believe.
Yeah, and a rule that I like to play with when I play Key Sanity is whenever you have like 3 or 5 small keys, you can probably safely assume that there's probably one more other small key out there that puts what I'm doing into logic right now, especially if you know how to hammer jump.
Right. So, and hammer jumping being a way to clip yourself into a railing to be able to save yourself a key in pod. All right,
Go ahead.
And Killer App opting to approach from the north. So I had missed it if Killer App picked up that pod small key from the shovel game, or from the shovel spot.
I don't believe they did, but I think they routed north for exactly what we're looking at right now. Get your salutes in chat. The duck has been unstuck.
That goose is loose. The duck is amuck. The fowl is on the prowl.
All right, our first look at something slightly new in a little bit. Pod, what do you got for us? Compass.
Well, I'm sure that we'll probably find more.
I mean, there are 14 checks in here. We're not going to see all of them right now, but and I guess that's something to note. The compasses aren't completely useless in the mode. You can see at the top of the screen, 1 out of 14. So just a little bit of a sanity check if you need to come back and you're like, oh, I forgot what I picked up there. You can come back to the dungeon and see what you actually got.
Right, especially for one of these modes where you might be double dipping or even triple dipping dungeons just as items and keys become available to you.
Yeah, and I think that's especially useful for people who are new to Randomizer. We're talking a lot about like speed running right now, but Randomizer is also just kind of fun to play, like without having to worry about the speed running. So like, know that there are things like this in place. That if you want to learn how to play some Randomizer, compasses will help you out in this mode if you want to learn it.
Right, and especially if this were the MC boss shuffle, the compass would also tell you what boss will actually be on the what will be the dungeon boss. And we do see Ether Medallion is going to be what's required from Meyer access,
which is good. We can't quite go in yet. Need either the hook shot or the boots. Watch it be right here. Oh gosh.
We'll take a bow.
Yep. So that's Killer App's sign to go to pod, and Killer App can get there pretty quickly with the flute and hammer.
Right. Plus, be able to complete a couple more in logic text at least versus Penny Royal, and as well. I mean, it would be out of logic, but just without that lamp. But I think pod is almost clearable just with a couple more keys.
Oh, the flippers. Yeah, I think so we don't have the big key, and I think everything that was locked behind the big key requires the lamp logically. Otherwise, Fire Rod puts these other dark rooms into logic.
Ah, that's a good point. Oh, well, Harmless Hellway gives us a Master Sword, so that'll be helpful. Penny Royal opting not to hammer jump and instead will save and quit.
Not a terrible choice. I mean, you got to do the hammer jump setup, and then you're going to get 2 checks that you're going to have to do the hammer jump later again anyway to get to the big chest. I can understand just wanting to save it for later.
Yeah. Plus, at this point, until we know where another pod small key is, we don't know if it's even logical yet. But we are going to go ahead and check out the front of Escape over on Pennyroyal's side as KillerApp makes their way through Skull Woods.
Yeah, and KillerApp was already here and kind of only checked that one chest in the back. I would imagine it's the sword that drove them to come back here.
Right, between a sword, and at this point, you don't need as much magic. You don't really need that much magic to get back to Mothula. Now, Fire Rod will do some good damage against Mothula, and the hammer, KillerApp opting to peace out for now, though.
Oh, KillerApp realizing they have no keys because they had scummed the key from the back, and they just used it.
Oh. Yeah,
So-
that's one of the things that can burn you in key sanity. It does get you additional item checks, but you gotta now be on the lookout for an additional key.
Yeah, I imagine they were trying to route Skullwoods in with Thieves Town because they're probably going to go to Thieves Town right after this with that hammer and those keys. So
Right, and yeah, hammer pegs. Yeah, what kind of while you're here, it's a little bit slower without the boots, but go ahead and do it. Meanwhile, we're gonna go ahead and check out what is in Zelda's cell.
KillerApp saying no to that map. Does not want the information. Oh, nope. Saying yes to that map.
Saying, well, if you insist.
Hey, that's extremely useful for what's about to happen next. We're gonna
Yep.
get a map check.
Oh, well, there's a lamp over on Pennyroyal's side. So there's logic. There's some more logic for Pod and Eastern and a lot of other places.
That lamp gonna make this very next spooky dark section that gets all the. This is a very easy dark section, but now we'll get to see the lamp in all its glory.
Yep. See that little light cone, which can get a little hairy when getting the chest back here in Dark Cross. I found using a bomb setup to place a bomb where the torch is, especially if you don't quite know where that chest is, can be useful in guiding you. And Dark Cross just being a couple more bombs. Speaking of.
Yeah, I'm one of those glitter trail people who just kind of like feels around until I find it. I was watching another runner a couple weeks back. They actually pull up the map to see where they are, like specifically in relation to the chest. I thought that was a really creative way to be like, where exactly am I in this Dark Cross?
I never thought of it like that. That is very creative.
Yep.
And we're gonna go ahead and get some water checks here on Pennyroyal's side. Especially again now with those flippers, Waterfall Cave. That's 4 items that you can get back there instead of the potentially just 1.
Yep,
So,
especially with those 500 rupees that we got.
Yep. So now we can see if Zora actually has something good for us, or and especially having run out of money once already, or out of magic once, to be able to pick up an extra potion. You've got the spare bottle. That might not be the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, and that'll be good for KillerApp. Like if KillerApp decides to go to Zora before they have the 500, because again, KillerApp didn't get the 100 rupees from the chest game, so they might not have the 500. Now they're going to get bailed out by the hobo, which is kind of weird to say.
And we're gonna go ahead and see our first checks from up here. One thing that just kind of to remark on is our runners have been staying in logic for the most part. I guess Eastern, the big key chest in Eastern has been the most egregious and of the logic of being out of logic. So
I mean, it was an important one because I believe that was the Swamp Palace small key that they found there. So
Right. So still good, and doesn't look like we're not going to pick up those 10 arrows. We would just have. We're just going to have to put them back anyway. But KillerApp with the bow is going to be able to do a bit more in pod here than Pennyroyal was able to do.
Oh yeah, because Pennyroyal, I don't think until just now still had an empty bottle, so they couldn't do the potion glitch while they were in here.
Right, and Zora, I'm sure that red rupee is actually worth 500 rupees, but it got taken out of its packaging, so it's only worth 20.
Ah, hate it when that happens.
Right, that's yeah. I think King Zora was trying to get something from eBay or something.
Yep. First edition Charizard, all scratched up. Could have been $500, but no.
And Pennyroyal opting to walk out of here and looking to, instead of saving and quitting, let's see where Pennyroyal goes from here.
I think this is Ice Palace.
Ooh, that would be spicy. Also, we did see the mirror over on KillerApp's side.
Oh, Mirror is so good to get in pod. Like, if anything makes routing pod so much easier, it's either the boots or the mirror, because it prevents all this weird, like, walking around in different directions. Mirror is just like you get to a certain endpoint, press mirror button, and then go the other way, and then you're done with the dungeon.
Right, and especially for pod where it's pretty quick from the front to get to the point where you're going to the back of the dungeon and to the dungeon boss. Now we can't do that without the big key, but I do. Yeah, this is one of those dungeons where you really do like that mirror.
KillerApp getting lucky with that mini Helmasaur kill. So if you don't know, if the mini Helmasaur drops a fairy, even if you don't pick it up, it just completely screws up your hammer jump. By going into this basement, it completely erases all of that, so he'll be fine to hammer up if he so chooses.
All right, and we do get the flippers as well, and yeah, we'll see what KillerApp does over on this side as well. Again, it's we know it is technically logical to do this, but we'll go ahead and see what they do.
All right, the legendary hammer jump. Using some pause buffering to get it.
And curiously saving that key. Now, I can't remember, because Harmless Hellway was the sword. So...
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah, just to declare, this ain't worth it, because once that bridge collapses, you have to go back and go downstairs, come back up the stairs to reset the entire thing. I can understand. Just be like, nah, no, not worth my time.
Yeah, we're done here. Pennyroyal has been using Quake kind of throughout, especially for those pen gators, and to great effect. And you know, after they dropped 2 magic pots, you just lost a little bit of time, and that's okay. That's okay. I would definitely take that time loss. Just take care of those so quickly.
All right, Pennyroyal going fully out of logic right here, doing a hookshot checks, or... Well, I guess this is not a logic because they had a small key. So, this is fine.
Yep, and KillerApp is going to go ahead and grab that 300 rupees, and then go ahead and get 300 more. Oh, that's another... So we were talking about the map for Hyrule Castle. We just found the small key of Hyrule Castle. Another... If that is logically required, then we're in trouble because we don't have a power glove.
Yeah, exactly. You see the Hyrule Castle small key coming into play a lot more with cross keys than you do this mode, because I feel like gloves just appears in this mode way more often than it does cross keys, at least in the early stages.
Right, and we'll see if KillerApp was probably going to go to Zora from here. Nice heart container. Okay. I was wondering if KillerApp was going to follow Pennyroyal into Ice Palace for a second there.
KillerApp getting all their stuff gonna get scammed by the big fish. I don't think we've really found anything in Ice Palace yet, have we?
We really haven't yet. Definitely not item-wise.
Ooh, very smooth room there, though.
Yep, and this slippery one actually very well done as well. That can be that can trip up runners. Just very slick, icy road. But yeah, so far,
5 rupees for your trouble.
Right. And Pennyroyal gonna go ahead and, because yeah, they might as well just reapproach in this direction. I think Pennyroyal is gonna go ahead and try to take down Cold Stare. There's gonna be a little bit more magic, fortunately, in the back. Gonna go ahead and look for some hearts to be able to use that. Yeah, gonna look for some hearts, but we'll see.
Yeah, they can use the small key to get their magic refilled. They can use those 3 heart containers on the top, I believe, also to top themselves off mostly. Oh, it's not 3 hearts. That's fine. This should be good.
Yeah, and if they really want, there is by climbing up, I think, 1 flight, there is a pot that you can fall into with some fairies.
So they still need to be a little bit careful because we don't have sword beam, so we're gonna pretty much burn all of our magic here. Unless fairy did Waterfall Fairy give us anything useful for the magic or anything like that?
Ooh, I don't believe so. But also, we're out of magic, and now granted, I guess healing wouldn't have done anything, because either way it would have been two hit Cold Stare.
Okay, Tracker correcting me. It was a green potion there, but apparently it was used, so it wasn't available for us in that fight.
Also, by the way, there's a sword up there, and I honestly missed what was in Spectacle Rock, but it looks like it was important.
Ooh, we're about to see it again. Just a key. Could be an important key, though.
That is an important key for when you take a key from the back.
Yep, to KillerApp specifically, that is an important key.
And very nice bomb jump. Probably saved about 40-50 seconds there.
Yeah, that is one bomb jump I have not figured out. Now, we do have the ability to go into Hera Basement, so we'll see if KillerApp is excited about doing the coffee break room or not. And alongside getting that Master Sword, it also lets us do Ether Check.
And at this point, having that mirror is okay. Compass isn't quite as handy, but yeah, having that mirror is going to go ahead and give. That's going to help KillerApp a lot, especially navigating through here.
Yeah, Penny's really needs to go to Thieves Town. Like, they have. Oh, they're missing the big key, maybe? I thought we had the big key. But no, they just need to go to Thieves Town. Get that flute, get the bow, get their mirror.
Right, because the bow, it was in the front of Thieves Town at least.
Yeah. It was the 4th chest of Thieves Town. Big key chest, if you prefer.
Yep. So, and because of that, we do have these diverging routes because KillerApp can go ahead over to Paradox Cave, and Pennyroyal, we'll see when they do Thieves Town.
I mean, KillerApp is set for some really good routing here, because like if you come up here with the mitt and the mirror, Like, you could just do Paradox Cave, drop back down, and then climb up Dark Mountain. Only unfortunate thing is we're gonna miss Hookshot Cave, basically.
Right, but we're still, but we are still going to be able to get some information, including Turtle Rock, if what medallion we might need for Turtle Rock. Now, we don't know if it's a crystal or pendant, but and honestly, at this point, it's got a real chance of being a pendant dungeon tonight.
KillerApp opting not to go into Dark World. I see a lot of runners who run up to the same exact entry point in Dark World, and they mirror right here. So they can do these checks and then just drop down. Oh, a hook shot.
Okay, so there's we were just talking about Hookshot Cave, weren't we?
We were talking about Hookshot Cave. We can not only do that, but now we can actually, out of logic, do Tower of Hera.
Right, and there's a Cane of Samaria, so I was half wondering if that was going to be Tower of Hera, but there we go. And another Pod Small.
I was hoping it was going to be Turtle Rock Big Key. Just like, oh no.
But yeah, that Paradox Cave paying out really well today with that hook shot, with the Cane of Samaria. Those are going to be required.
Mm-hmm. All right, so now we're going into the Dark World and going to retrace our steps in the Dark World version of the mountain. Ooh, that's a lot of info.
And Thieves Town was a pendant. TR was a crystal.
Okay.
I missed the others.
Yeah, I was looking down and I saw red at the bottom. I was like, oh wait, we already have that information.
But there is that flute for Pennyroyal, so that'll get Meyer access for the bow.
So at this point, I can't imagine Pennyroyal, because they've already been up on the mountain at this point, so they're not going to use it to go up the mountain. I imagine they, at this point, just... Have they killed Mothula yet? No, they have not. So maybe that's what they're doing now.
Yeah, one of the interesting things about key sanity modes, I did see Skullwoods was a crystal. Yeah, one of the interesting things about this kind of mode is we are 51 minutes in. We have not completed a dungeon yet. We came really close like half an hour ago.
Yep. Yeah, this is one of those modes where, once you have everything, it's just, you blaze through it. But because, the dungeons need so much more, that initial clear rate is always going to be just a little bit slower to start.
Right. Meanwhile, Hookshot Cave having a shield, blue mail.
Oh yeah, and answering my question from long before, no longer the Sprite. Now it's a Pepsi Sprite.
Which is probably a little ironic, and we do have Quake, so Bombos is not going to be required this seed.
That was a Desert Palace check, and it looked like a crystal. Which means our pendants... do we have all the pendant information?
At this point, that would put Eastern as the remaining.
Eastern as the last pendant. Yep.
So, and KillerApp is gonna go ahead and take a peek into Turtle Rock, or just open it up for later. But you've got a couple checks you can make in here.
Yeah, how many small keys do we have? We have just the one. So yeah, that just means that's actually kind of reassuring, because you can come in here, you only have to do the first few checks. You're not going to be going all the way in, and then you can just leave with that mirror.
Yeah, this is probably a best case scenario for doing Turtle Rock. And yeah, at this point we're good, and at this point we are now good on maps. We don't need any more maps. We don't need a map of Ganon's Tower. All right, KillerApp remembering. Oh yeah, there's one more spot we can go ahead and do for free.
All right, so we're going to see our first Mothula clear as well, and I believe whatever is under the bridge. I don't believe we've seen either.
You're correct. We have not yet seen what was under the bridge. KillerApp had left before that. There's a cape and silvers.
Hey!
So at this point, we're probably going to be... Now, I don't know if KillerApp will end up doing Harmless Hellway for what would be Tempered Sword, but silvers makes everything a little bit better. Vitreous, especially Vitreous.
Yeah, you get Vitreous, Ganon.
If we have to do Ice Arm most nights. Oh, KillerApp, I'm going to be a little cautious there. And especially since we still have one very scary room right here.
Baiting the chain chomps, very good. For a map.
Ouch. Nice magic drop over on Pennyroyal's side, though. So this is going to be probably as good a situation for this Mothula fight as you can get.
Yeah, I mean, I was about to say, -1 fire shot, well, now 2. Oh, I guess just -1 because we're about to get a little magic refill here.
Right. And plus a little bit of the magic refill for KillerApp right before dipping back in. And Mothula, where the arena is the true enemy, and you play the game of what actually is a hit on Mothula. Doing a nice job. Did run out of magic, but it doesn't matter.
That is our first boss down and our first crystal gained in this race at 55 minutes and 28 seconds.
All right, just 6 to go. Although the good news, and to reassure the reassure folks in the audience who may be watching this for the first time, this is not going to take 7 hours to finish. We're pretty sure.
We're pretty sure.
Yeah, once all these items become available, things will go ahead and things do kind of pick up. There have been, I know I've had races where first crystal I completed the 1 hour mark, and I've gotten them all by the 140 mark.
And that isn't to say that, you know, these runners are pretty quick, but that doesn't mean that things can't also get... Oh, hello, Boots.
Oh, so yeah, we'll you know, Hera still may not be required, but that's gonna feel really good.
That does put the small key that's on Desert Palace torch into logic, and it gives us Misery Mire access, so that's an option, but also King's Tomb.
Yeah, King's Tomb, and they did already have, yep, that was confirmed to be a crystal over on Desert Palace. And I do like this this taking down of Moldorm. You're here anyway. It is the green pendant. It's a quick dungeon. You don't have the small key, so don't worry about it for right now.
Or do you? Oh, that would have been funny.
Yeah, that would have been that would have been some revenge bombs maybe, but that is a green pendant. It is a dungeon not necessarily required, but we'll also see what that green pendant turn-in will be.
And we're going to see some Spike Cave action here.
I like this. It is in logic because of having that cape. Plus, I think if you have at least one bottle, then this is considered in logic, and perfect timing, waiting till the last possible, pretty much the last possible frame, honestly, it feels like, before using that cape.
Yeah, because you can't wait until 1 heart, because the cape has that little bit of delay where you equip it and you can't activate it right away. Burna, you can do that, even though the animation's not instant. But the effect takes place immediately. Not so with cape. Cape just takes a hot second to actually like be available to use.
Yep. So at this point, I mean, Meyer would be pretty slow to dip at this point. But oh, yeah, checkerboard cave would be a good spot to check just real quick.
Yeah, checkerboard cave. What you call it? Desert torch, and then Meyer is my guess here.
Yeah. Now Pennyroyal is checking that information for the first time about the ether medallion. We're gonna find the bow here for Pennyroyal. But at this point, Pennyroyal needs to go back to the mountain for hookshot, because that was what hookshot, boots, Canis Amaria.
The problem is Pennyroyal needs to take that bow and go to what you call it?
Oh, mirror. You're right.
Mirror. Yep. So hopefully that bow points them in the right direction. Oh, it looks like it. Oh no, I thought they clicked on 5.
They were over there for a second. It might have been a misclick. Okay.
There we go.
It had been. Yep.
It looks like we're going in the right direction now.
And meanwhile, over on Killer App's side, we are going to defeat Landmo this time because we have weaponry. We did not. We had very limited weaponry, actually, when Killer App and Pennyroyal were both taking on Landmo right around the same time. It's just ran out of magic. Both of them ran out of magic and out of bombs, so... And actually, because of that, I'm wondering if they both feel behind at this point.
I would imagine so, just because that was... If anyone feels probably behind, I think it would be Killer App because of the early game. Because Killer App not only went to the desert area to check it out first, and then found the Desert Palace starter pack, then went to desert again, only to realize they didn't have enough magic to even do the fight, and left again. So if anyone feels behind, it's probably Killer App. But all of their choices since then have been working out perfectly.
Right, between everything there. So,
yep.
But one of the nice things about races, you don't know how your opponent's doing. So even if you are actually ahead, at least in item count or in knowledge, there's perception. And Pennyroyal gonna finally pick up that mirror. It doesn't feel great picking up the mirror at the 1 hour mark, but we'll go ahead and continue along here. And that was a save and quit out from Pennyroyal's side, but Pennyroyal already did a lot of the back already. So
yeah, Pennyroyal has only not done Dark Maze because they got their second sword out of Harmless Hellway. So the only thing they have left is basically things that you would want to route in, ideally with the big key, or is locked behind the big key.
Right. And correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't, in full disclosure, pod key logic is a little rough to me. But I don't know if the maze is technically in logic at this point yet, without at least one more.
You need a full 6 small keys. And that's what I was saying earlier. When I get like 5 small keys, I just assume there's probably one other one out there that would put this into logic, and I'll do it then and there. But both or all 4 of the maze, Harmless Hellway, the big key chest, and the boss are all locked behind 6 keys.
Yeah, so all right, and Pennyroyal getting that compass as well. And Killer App is going to go ahead and give us our first look at Swamp Palace here.
I mean, we've got everything to do it, and that Samaria, if you're not comfortable with a bomb setup for Diver Down, makes it a little bit quicker. Chat asking, where was the sword? It was Harmless Hellway. Nothing really so far in Swamp. I think that was 10 arrows back there.
Ooh, Pennyroyal just getting the first couple chests in Hera and then opting out. Now, this might end up being coming back once you realize the treasure trove that's over here. But we'll see.
Yeah, when I could see like seeing that it's a pendant and then being like, I have the mitts, I have the mirror. I'm gonna gamble trying to find the hook shot over here before I commit to anything else in Tower of Hera. And do the quickest check and get out.
Right, and the good news is it will work out very nicely for that particular situation. But yeah, I'm trying to remember if KillerApp had... Yeah, KillerApp did have the green pendant knowledge, so...
Yes. Yeah, because they all talk to Saha. Lugu! That's a nice to have.
Alright, well, won't turn that down. And with that Cane of Samari out, it looks like we are going to get a diver down check over here on KillerApp's side.
Gotta bomb it first, but yeah, I expect the Cane of Samaria diver down. And Penny doing the routing that I mentioned earlier, approaching this cave from Dark World, using the mirror, and then collect the things in here, drop back down. It's a little tiny bit more efficient.
Yep, especially now that you've got that hook shot, and now this route will work out really nicely.
All right, and we are seeing left side swamp. I think left side swamp checks are a lot more common in this mode because there's just a lot more that you need in general, especially when you're looking for information. Because keys also give you information as to like maybe where should you go next kind of thing. Compared to other modes where runners are much more likely to be like, ew, left side swamp. Ice Palace Big, that's spooky. Oh, not for KillerApp though.
Right, at least it's for a crystal dungeon. It's for a good cause, and you're going to be able to loop in both the big chest and the regular chest there pretty easily. And also, just kind of making a note, we've got all the items that we need. Technically,
just looking for keys. Yep.
That's the joy of key sanity.
Now, what key is it? Just big keys? Oh, we need Turtle Rock smalls, huh?
Yeah, Turtle Rock small and big. Pod small.
Oh, I didn't even catch where the pod big was. Where was that?
I had honestly missed it as well, so...
Help us, tracker! Oh.
Oh yeah, we also... Ooh. Speaking of... Okay, Super Bunny Cave, thank you very much.
Does that put KillerApp in go mode?
I think so.
Yeah, I think hour 6 and change, I think... Oh no, we're Mr. Meyer Big.
Meyer Big.
Yeah, we need the Meyer Big. So very, very close, though, suddenly.
Right, and... Yeah, at this point, I mean, KillerApp might go down to Zelda Cell and that, not for a lamp, looking for that key, but yeah, we're gonna go ahead and take down Argus, take down all the crystal dungeons that we can in the meantime.
This is again what we were saying before. Like, KillerApp only has one or two dungeon, or just one crystal dungeon done. And they're also just one thing away from go mode and just like blitzing through the rest.
Right.
That's key sanity for you.
All right, and Penny Royal is also going to go ahead and just pop into the Turtle Rock real quick with that one key.
Makes sense to me. All right. Oh, the silver's also trivializing this fight. It's pretty trivial no matter what, but as long as you have, like, a rod.
Right, and down goes Argus, and that is Christian number 2 for KillerApp.
So I would imagine KillerApp does Ice Palace next. They've got the Samaria. They've got the 2 small keys for routing purposes. They've got, hook shot. They're not going to use it. I would imagine that would be the next thing they do.
Right, it's pretty close, and you do have a blue potion, so you don't have to be quite as worried about magic.
Now, if Misery Mire turns out to be like in the Ice Palace big chest, that's actually a huge boon for Pennyroyal because Pennyroyal had that death skipping that chest. That'll be a nice little phew. Okay, well, I guess I'm glad I died.
Right. And KillerApp indeed going to go ahead into Ice Palace here. And we're going to see Icebreaker a little bit different of a route than Pennyroyal just by having that Cane of Samaria. And don't get me wrong, Pennyroyal is going to be doing Icebreaker as well. They've got to just get back to... because they had died to Cold Stare, so...
Yeah, and they had done the dungeon, the Ice Palace bomb jump away the first time they were in there, so... Now they'll get to do it a little bit quicker. Oh. I couldn't tell if they were trying to death warp there or not, but they've left themselves with just that one little heart.
Yep.
Opting no Hera.
Okay. So this might be Swamp at this point, though. But this is going to give a huge advantage to KillerApp just by virtue of picking up those boots.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. So, I mean, KillerApp's already got a very slight lead, mostly because of, the two big things I would say that have put Pennyroyal on their back foot at this point. They don't know they're on the back foot. But would be that early flute grab, because that just unlocks so much in a row. And then that Ice Palace death, I think, was just a oof.
Right. And then also being behind because of the flute, missing out on the bow, so missing out on the mirror, so missing out on prioritizing the East Death Mountain. So
yeah.
But that being said, this is not a finished race by any means.
Oh no, not at all. I mean, again, Pennyroyal was like in the lead for the longest time at the beginning because KillerApp was also making some like somewhat goofy plays, and who knows where this Misery Mire big key could be. It could be in like an absolutely awful place that we haven't discovered yet. We may see KillerApp go into like pod or something like that and not pick something up, like the big key chest, and it could be there, and then the pod small key somewhere awful. It could be something like that.
Right. There are still many opportunities for shenanigans in this seed, including technically Ped's not dead. It's not likely without we don't have the Eastern Palace big key.
So maybe the chat is hoping to see it, but what we're not hoping to see is that to pop up.
And yep, we do see Cane of Samaria block just pressed on that switch there. And we need a little bit more magic. We do have a blue potion.
Do have a blue potion. They'll be fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Pretty good setup. Get some really good, easy, like double hits, like that one right there, when they're up against the wall. Very nice, because they get hit by both the projectile and the flame that persists.
Right, and don't blink. There goes Cold Stare, and
hey, could have used that about 30 seconds ago.
Although for using Master Sword, that was a really quick kill on KillerApp's side. GG, and that was crystal number 3. Don't you love those ironic items?
Yeah, always. Yep.
All right, and Pennyroyal actually showing us another way of doing Diver Down here, where KillerApp had used the Cane of Samaria. You could also use bombs to clip yourself into that rail.
And they get it. Nice work, Penny Royal. And KillerApp reminding us to remember our ABCDs, always be clearing dungeons as they just go through with what they have.
And this does also have an advantage. If you wanted to, you could check out what's on PED.
Ooh, true.
And it wouldn't cost a whole lot of time, and that would definitely affect routing if you find like, oh, there's a big key up here. Now, now I can't remember if the randomizer will hint at what kind of big key it is or what kind of key it is.
It does, because like if it's not possible in this particular mode, but like if it was the Gans Tower big key, it would say the big key of Evil's Bane, for example.
Okay.
So it won't be literal, but it'll tell you basically more or less what it is.
And at this point, it would be I think a hint between Meyer and Eastern. The hint will probably be different enough between the two.
Chat informing us the hint is the big key to Vitreous.
All right, thank you very much, chat. All right, and we're getting another Mothula fight here, and this is where that half magic is going to pay off, just because you've got a lot more fire shots that you can spam.
Yeah, and you can use it, like, I see a lot of runners who, when they have half magic, half the time they're using it, it's just to get Mothula off the ceiling. Just be like, get off there so I can actually damage you, you know?
Yeah. All right, and down goes Mothula, and let's see if we get a... Oh, we're going to go ahead in for the bridge.
Bridge, yep. But also, get out of here, Moldorm.
that one mini Moldorm.
Don't look at me funny. All right, we gonna get a ped check?
It's gonna be now or never. Meanwhile, Penny Royal is gonna go ahead and take down Argus, and we are gonna go ahead and get a ped check.
Watch him flute away. Debate.
All right, so that is Canaberna. So Ped is dead.
I've had.
All right, and to answer a question in chat, we don't know what's on Lumberjack Ledge yet. Neither of our racers have checked it yet.
KillerApp with those 5 small keys, knowing it's a crystal, knowing that there's probably a 6 out there. Well, there has to be a 6 small key out there. It's logically required to get to King Helma. We're finally going to see what is in Dark Maze.
Yep. So, and would probably still save the key just to be able to also check Harmless Hellway as well.
I would imagine they hammer yump to save it.
Right. Yeah. Hammer yump, save that key, and we're gonna get the. Oh. Well, that's not as exciting as small key.
That would have been useful an hour ago, whenever we did the Mothula or Skullwoods.
Yep. Thanks, game. Yeah, this is definitely one of those where Link to the Past Randomizer is definitely one of those where it's similar to golf in that you're not really racing against, like you're racing against the other person, yes, but you're really against the seed.
Just trying to figure out a logic puzzle as quickly as possible by pressing the buttons the right way as fast as possible.
Yeah, press the buttons good, and ooh, there's a third TR small.
Yeah, there's our lava chest right there. I've certainly seen some runners who go into TR when it's a crystal and they accidentally spend the key on the door to a lava chest when they only have the 3 small keys. And then like, and then they have to go on a small key hunt for Turtle Rock.
Although, like, between that and then if lava chest is actually something.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and KillerApp, by not flipping that switch, can just go ahead and zoom through. We'll go ahead and complete out pod first before checking the back. I understand this.
Yeah, this is super common routing, especially like early game if you don't have the mirror, but you have the ability to go kill King Helma and it's like right in front of you. You'll do this first so that you can just then clear out the back and save and quit if you don't have the mirror. But doing it in this order, it doesn't really matter what order you do it with when you have the mirror.
Right.
You're gonna have to watch the fanfare one way or the other.
All right, and this particular room at least is in logic with that with the fire rod. Yeah, that's that can be the fun for new runners as well, figuring out what is in logic when you don't have the lamp. We're getting through just fine, so KillerApp is going to go ahead and take down King Helmasaur.
Tempered Sword going to make Cold Stare a lot easier this time than the green mail practically hammer fight that was attempted earlier.
Right, and and there we go. Gonna get that half magic, that ironic half magic. Although I think technically it is a time save because you do take a little bit of time. Oh, there's Mushroom, by the way.
Hooray!
If you like to do fetch quests.
And we're going to see the final checks in pod that we've been denied this entire seed first, but then I can imagine a quick mushroom check after that.
Oh yeah, you've got it. You've got the flute, you've got mirror, so it's a pretty quick check at this point. And as you're starting to run a little dry on checks at this point, you still have the back of Thieves Town, of Pendant Thieves Town, mind, and you do have now. Mire Big could be in Mire.
Oh.
I'm... You know, where do we think it's going to be? Is it going to be in Mire or outside of Mire?
I mean, if I had just that dungeon left, I would be almost inclined to do it. But it could also be up in Turtle Rock, because we've only seen like the first, what, 4 chests of it, so...
That's a good point. Okay, and KillerApp going ahead and resetting this room. We'll need to hammer yump here, but getting that set up. So if you approach from the top, and because I'm not very good at hammer yumping, this is kind of a question. If you approach from the top, does that mean the bridge collapses quicker or less quick? So you have a little bit more time.
You do have a little bit more time to do the hammer yump. Yeah, it's significantly longer. It doesn't feel like it because it's still pretty quick. But you do have more time relative to if you approach from the bottom.
Also, funnily enough, both of our runners are attempting to hammer yump. Pennyroyal does get it first try, getting those 20 rupees.
Pixel off. Just a pixel. That looks good.
There we go.
20 rupees.
Yep, and it looks like the only thing in here was a small key to Ganon's tower.
Huh. KillerApp does not have... Oh, KillerApp never did Hyrule Castle, so we may see that from KillerApp as well.
Right, and that would be at this point, that would be a good play. Now, I don't think that... Yeah,
That would be a safe play. The aggressive play would be either Turtle Rock, and then, like, the really aggressive play would be Misery Mire.
Right, now KillerApp does have some knowledge advantage of that PED knowledge. There was one race, I think yesterday, where one of the racers checked PED, and that's where the flute was. And was able to make routing decisions based on that, because that was a go mode flute.
Oh, did Penny not check?
Penny has
don't
not
think-
checked. Penny did not have the.
Oh.
Yeah, Penny did not have the mirror at that point yet.
Oh, so they might be more incentivized to go into dungeons. Although, to be frank, you know, Thieves Town's an option. The big key could actually be in there, so that might actually point Penny in the right direction. You know, oh, I don't have what I need because I haven't found whatever. You know, off in that direction I go.
Right, and keeping in mind, while Killer App has completed more dungeons, Killer Apps looks like is going to go ahead and go into Turtle Rock. We're not in go mode yet, so this could be. So this is still a pretty open race. Couple advantages, like the boots. Having those boots is just going to be more and more of a time advantage to Killer App, though.
Now, question: have we seen from Killer App what was on Bonk Rocks even?
We have not seen Bunk Rocks. We have not seen Lumberjack Ledge.
Yeah, chat was pointing out that those two are things, and I think so too is King's Tomb.
You're right. Yeah, we have not checked those North Hyrule checks and Graveyard Ledge.
I personally like this relatively aggressive play from Killer App because, like, if it happens to be in here, hooray, you're already in the middle of clearing a dungeon, and that's all you have to worry about from here on out.
Right, and you have to do it anyways, and you also do have, because you have all of those keys, you do have Laser Bridge later on.
Laser Bridge, we get Mimic Cave out of the way. The only time lost here by doing this right now is a mountain climb. You know, whoops, I lost a minute and a half. I don't know.
Right, and even then, it's definitely justifiable. You just don't want to have to climb the mountain 7 times if you can help it.
Exactly. Oops.
I like that bunny sprite.
Oh my gosh.
So I guess, is it an aluminum? It was like an aluminum bunny.
Yeah.
That's one of the things about these sprites, and one of the things hold on.
Is this it?
Although that's the first time we'll be able to get into that chest.
I mean, maybe they'll have the Misery Mire big key.
Although Penny Royal save scum that, so that is going to allow Penny Royal to be able to do fake powder if they'd like.
Oh, very, very keen to look forward that far. Okay. I was like, no Mimic Cave? Maybe they were hoping that the big key would be right there, so they didn't have to do these few transitions.
Right. So yeah, definitely understandable. I think that particular route, this is the first tournament that I've seen that, and I like it. You know, it's if you get lucky, then there you go, and if not, it's a quick mirror. You're not losing a whole lot of time.
All right, looks like Penny Royal also going in there. And I think Penny Royal is also very close to... Oh, does Penny not have the big key? Where was the... We know where the Turtle Rock big key was, right? I remember the Killer App getting it.
Right, it was...
It was right next to a Turtle Rock small. Was it in Swamp Palace, maybe?
I think so, but I'm pretty sure Penny Royal... I'm pretty sure that Penny Royal did...
Diver Down room?
Diver Down, yeah.
Yeah, I can't imagine Penny missed those.
Okay, so Penny does have the big key. Okay.
Oh, okay. Killer App masterfully going through this room. Once you know how to do this room in the dark, it's just a couple button presses, basically. And you kind of use the spinning flames to get a sense of when the platform that you're on changes direction, and then you just tap in a different direction every time that happens. All right, is it here?
All right, laser bridge. I like the use of the cape here. Ooh.
Hooray!
Wrong Meyer thing.
Mr. Meyer is now almost in logic. Just so people know, you don't actually need any keys for Misery Mire, but it does make routing a lot easier if you have like one or two.
There we go.
I love how everybody has their own way of doing that particular room. There doesn't seem to be any one set way that is correct or standardized that I've seen.
And that's one of the nice things about like these kinds of things where like, yeah, you've got different routes to do that, or to do Harapot, or to do Diver Down, or not only the glitches, but also, ooh, okay, so one of the that ice head does lay down a little bit of ice there, but that is 2 of the heads down, and 2 out of 3 ain't bad.
And let's see how quickly this happens. Got the double hit. Nice.
Yep, very well done. Got a little bit concerned, then remembered, oh yeah, we're not on green mail anymore.
That's not a big key.
Oh no, now we know Eastern Palace is a pendant. But that is, at least it's a crystal though. Well, I guess we'll take that.
Yeah, well, we'll take it. I won't complain too much.
All right, and I think KillerApp is going to... Now...
KillerApp's going to see this, going to be like, oh, I just wasted my... Oh.
Although, again, if... Now, what would really be an interesting case is if Big Chest of Skull Woods has the thing. Now, because KillerApp didn't save and quit from the mountain, we'll go ahead and take that big key and advance through. Which I still like because we haven't seen Powder yet. So, saves coming, that mushroom might not be required at this point.
So something to note is because Penny didn't ever pick up those boots, maybe after this dungeon they will. Took a couple hits on Laser Bridge, so they're creating a little bit... Oh. No Trinix?
No Trinix.
Oh, I see what they're doing.
Oh, they're making the Mire play at this point.
They're making the Mire play, hoping to find big go mode in here, and then they can kill themselves in this world, and then teleport up to the back of Turtle Rock.
This is risky. I like it a lot.
Oh, actually, chat pointing out.
Oh, never mind.
Penny must have spent a small key on Lava Chest.
Oh.
Doesn't have. I was talking about this before. I've seen runners accidentally spend a key on Lava Chest when they don't have enough, and then they put themselves into a small key hunt.
Hmm. But KillerApp here, it looks like we'll go ahead and make these. Finally, be the first of our runners to make. Oh well. At this point, we don't need a small key, but we'll go ahead and just check what's on Lumberjack. What's been on Lumberjack Ledge for the past hour or 32?
Yep. Both runners skipped this super early on. Just glue, just some green goo.
Yeah, not bad, but we're not going to defeat Aghanim for that. Uh-oh, one of them tells the truth. What about the other one?
Turns out, also tells the truth. Oh, okay, well.
We're going to go ahead and grab this small key.
What could this small key be useful for?
I guess it could still be useful for Ganon's tower.
We have 3. And, 4 is logically required to climb, but that's only if you, accidentally spend a key on that one door that nobody ever touches. Yeah, that had to be this. That's the only key left. Oh, Tower of Harrismall we're missing. So yeah,
we were still missing that. But that is Landmo down for Pennyroyal, by the way.
Nice. Happened so quickly, didn't even see it.
Right. Well, and actually was getting a little low in health there, 2.5 hearts. But yeah, this is the first time that we're seeing these North Hyrule checks.
I have a gut feeling it's in one of these, but it'll be exciting if it's in Misery Mire because that will work out. Ooh, it won't work out very well for Penny because we don't have Turtle Rock key.
So then the next check then would be the another Turtle Rock small key in Mire. That's all we need.
Well, except Killer hasn't been to Mire and has all 4.
Oh, you're absolutely right. Although.
Oh. But every time.
Right, but that does open up 2 checks there.
It does, and that could be worth it.
Yeah, especially as you're running low. Now, you'd probably still do front of escape at this point first, and there's our 6th pod key.
Yep. The one that had to be floating out there somewhere.
And we are going to go ahead and also dip into Mire on KillerApp's side.
Yeah, I think this is the only, sensible choice left for them. Hey, red mail.
Yeah, we'll take that. Does Pepsi turn into Coke?
Oh. Interesting.
Do we go from a Coke product to a Pepsi product back to a Coke product?
Maybe it goes into something completely random like Moxie. Something you just never like the true toughest of sodas.
Kirkland brand, like store brand. Mr. Pibb, Dr. Pepper.
yeah. LaCroix, and for all those true artisans out there.
Well, there's an empty bottle. So at the very least, we're finding some nice safety in Mire, even if we're not finding progression. And yeah, that puts us at our 4th bottle is on Lumberjack Ledge. Oh yeah, and we still have the back of Thieves Town. Yeah, we still have a good number of.
There's so much left. Yeah, there's so much left. Eastern Palace, Thieves Town. Yeah.
Yeah, well, and although it also doesn't feel good, you have a lot of checks remaining, and you're 1 hour 37 into the seed. Now, Key Sanity is going to run a little bit longer than like a Standard or Ambrosia, but...
Did anyone ever go back to check Skullwood's Big? Because that might also be in play as well.
Not yet. Pennyroyal doesn't have the key, and KillerApp hasn't checked that yet. If KillerApp goes back for Thieves Town, might also route that. Oh, Killer did check that. Okay, thank you, chat. The boots were in Tower of Hera Big Chest,
which Pennyroyal went into Tower of Hera, did maybe just the first chest, and then dipped out, and then we assumed, or at least I did, that they were looking for the hook shot to actually complete it because we didn't have the big key at the time. Never went back, though.
And Mire Big is not in Mire.
Womp womp. So this is where Penny can gain some ground, because at this point, it's like 50-50-50, it could be anywhere at this point. Which of these bad checks do we want to do? Back of Thieves, Eastern Palace, pick your poison.
And especially if KillerApp goes to do the front of escape, we already know that's not the answer, so that will give some time back to Pennyroyal. Pennyroyal is going to go ahead and check Lumberjack Ledge as well, because KillerApp checked it for the first time between our runners less than 5 minutes ago.
Yeah, but I think that was more because KillerApp had the option to also route it in with Bonk Rocks and stuff like that, because they had the boots.
That's a good point. Which, and to be fair, that did none of the Northern Hyrule checks were the answer either. So, yeah, I think we're gonna see Thieves Town here, or it looks like that's where we're going. And yeah, it kind of looks like a Coca-Cola can.
All right, so we've seen these checks already from the front already, so off to the back we go. We've got everything we need to full clear the back, so it's just a matter of how far back do we potentially need to go before we find out it's actually an Eastern Palace.
And actually, because it looks like Pennyroyal is going to be following KillerApp, this is going to be giving that time back to KillerApp at this point.
Yep. Yeah, following behind and without the boots. Which, I mean, I've done the math before a little bit. The boots speed you up by like something like 15% overall. It's not a huge boost when you think like it's only 10 or 15%, but over time that just expands out.
Right, and KillerApp's probably had the boots for at least an hour at this point, I think.
Yep. Oh.
Well, there's another check.
Oh, but that might be good for Penny, because that might tell Penny go back to Tower of Hera.
That's a good point. Now, it would just be for the boots, though, and we just checked the Northern Hyrule checks are not going to be anything, but it's at least going to feel better to have those boots.
Yeah, because I would imagine if Penny does choose to go back to Tower of Hera, they would do the upper floors first before going into the coffee break room. So they'll at least have the boots at some point if they choose to follow that key.
Right, and they probably prioritize that as well, because that's the last dungeon that they really have available to them.
Oh yeah, because they don't have the Eastern Palace big.
Yeah, so... Oh, I guess that was something substantial in the Northern Hyrule checks. We did get... That is where we got the big key.
Yep.
Or could be potential, because that's not it.
I guess that would be the next thing they check, though, because like they're right here in the Dark World already. They can just run up to that area. Oh no, I guess that wouldn't make sense because they don't have the boots. Why would you try to route all that in together? All right, Blind. What do you got for us? What's the joke? Oh.
Timely, with the Kentucky Derby being relatively recently.
Is this Plando?
Although that Blindhead knocking out of script here, so Blind's biggest Blind just gets chaotic, but does take down Blind very nicely.
And okay, now we know where to find Ganon.
All right. I'll say, and we know that Ganon's Tower is neither a crystal or a pendant with that map.
So I don't know if any of the people who created the compass mod were listening or are listening, but I actually tried to use the new compass feature that you were talking about earlier in Ganon's Tower to see in Randomizer what bosses I was getting. Doesn't tell you. It just tells you where Aghanim is, and I was like, oh, I feel stupid.
And I forgot about K45.
Oh, I think we all did.
Yep.
Oh.
And yep, just the compass there. So let's see where KillerApp goes from here.
Eastern Palace.
Yep. So and KillerApp already does know what is on pedestal. So this is just going to be for 2 items at this point.
What does KillerApp even have left at this point?
Just the front of escape.
That's true. That's true because they don't have the lamp still.
Right, but we already know that's not the answer. So it kind of. Oh, and Harris Small. And depending on where powder is.
Chat asking, what was on Ped? It was the Cane of Burna.
And the green pendant turn-in was, I think, a piece of heart or junk. It wasn't anything. Oh, right. Skullwood's key. Thank you.
Skullwood. That's right. Skullwood's key.
So actually kind of important for... Oh, and... All right, and there's a 4th Guinness Tower small key.
Penny, your cape is on.
Yep.
That probably was intentional.
Let's say, and at this point, all right, they're gonna check Graveyard Ledge. I wonder if they go do fake powder at this point.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking when they were draining their magic. I was like, do they know? Oh, they know.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna see a fake powder coming up, pretty sure.
Which, speaking of, please give our runners a follow. They're putting on a fantastic show for us, especially in this seed where things are kind of spicy right now.
Yeah, things are spicy. There's a lot on the line. We were talking earlier at the very beginning of the race. You know, there are some implications if KillerApp wins this one. So, with this particular group, so there's a lot at stake here.
Right, and by the way, yeah. Eastern was not the answer, so we're now down to the Tower Harris small key.
Skullwood's big key, I think, as well.
So that it looks like it sounded like KillerApp did end up checking.
Oh, did?
That.
Okay, yeah. I totally missed that.
So did I. Chat got it for us though.
Thanks, chat.
Yeah, chat's pretty awesome.
They have a lot more eyes than the 2 of us combined.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Penny now knows this isn't an Oops All Dungeons.
But yeah, if it's not here, I'm flummoxed. I mean, KillerApp still has the front, like, because KillerApp's doing this over the front of Escape. I wonder if KillerApp forgot about front of Escape.
I don't think so. I think this is more of I have left it for so long that at this point, if my opponent got it out of there, I already lost no matter what. You know, if it's there, I lost. I'm just going to do the worst possible checks before I do the front of Escape. That's my feeling on it.
Okay, and actually, that I'd be interested in, and yeah, that sounds like that makes sense. But yeah, we are not in go mode yet.
But hang around for about 15 more seconds or less because I think we're about to be.
Now, if this is powder and Penny Royal gets that for...
Hey!
Oh. And there we go. 1 hour, 47 minutes, 36 seconds. We are in go mode.
We got there eventually, fam. Man, if it was Penny's, like, if Penny got it right here, though, that would be so clutch. That would make this race so fun.
Right, and at that point, now, it's still close because Penny Royal still needs Turtle Rock keys.
Oh, true. And even if Penny had found it right there, and then KillerApp had, like, eventually gotten to it, then KillerApp still has the boots, so...
Yeah. And yeah, chat pointing out that yeah, Pendant Thieves Town for a key for the Tower of Harris small key. having that required.
Gross.
Yeah, and it never feels good when it's a hour 46 go mode. Now the good news for Killer App is this is the last dungeon at least, so we're gonna be getting ready to start putting some numbers into chat, but not yet because yeah, we're not gonna do that yet.
I feel a little bad because earlier I said, "Oh, at least this isn't going to be an oops all dungeon seed," and I'm looking at Killer App's tracker right now. I'm like, "Oh,
we did not do Castle Tower. We're good. We're safe."
Oh, that's true. We were spared one half of a dungeon." See the setup that Killer App is doing. It's a very popular one. Kind of go down at the bottom corner and then just tap right, throw up. Quite getting it. I think they need to go just slightly further to the right than they are right now.
Yeah, I think this is the toughest room to do in the dark.
Yeah.
Basically,
just imagine yourself going like a Link's body length over to the right, because he was doing a little flick there, and I think it was just landing a little bit too far to the left. But he got it.
Yep. And opting to use using safety through here, that's a good call. You've got the magic for it. You're going to be using silver arrows for this upcoming fight anyway, so go ahead and do that. And yeah, Killer App is in go mode. Pennyroyal still needs to Pennyroyal needs to go up to Hera. Hera ended up being required. What do you know? But yeah, because if Killer App wins, that will likely put them through to group. It'll either put them just in, or at the very worst, a 3-way tie is still possible between Killer App, Pennyroyal Oil, and Homemade Beer, actually, as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to reread the tournament docs on like what does a 3-way tie look like?
Well,
do they just do another round robin or something?
That's a good question. Is it a 3-way race? And because they're also 2 and 2 against each other, and under the 3-way tie scenario, they would also have gone 2 and 0 against the other person in their group. But yeah, there's a lot potentially going on here. But yeah, go ahead and put numbers into chat between 1 and 22. Where do you think the GT Big Key will be?
Whatever the 4th check is, that's where I believe it will be. Nice quick Ganon's key find.
All right, I'm thinking a little bit less kind, but still not tile room.
Still 21, a tasteful 21. We are a can of Coke after all.
Right, and as someone in Atlanta, Coca-Cola does have that kind of special place in my heart. All right, and Pennyroyal is going to go ahead and turn in the mushroom for real. Grab that big key for Skull Woods. Well, unfortunately, be disappointed that it won't have our progression.
All right. Which way do you go, Killer App? You've got 4 small keys to spend however you like. You can even open that one really bad door in the basement if you want to, just for tee-hees and giggles.
Yep. Now, one of the nice things is we're just going to add 1 to that number up at the top, and that's going to be our tracker for where the GT Big Key will be.
Oh, that does make it easier. I don't have to pay attention for once.
That is one of the nice things about having the compass for Gaina's Tower, and we know that the big key is in here. I appreciate that a lot as a commentator, certainly.
Looks like we're doing what some may call the Dark Magician strat. Some may call it the Pink Magician. Oh, who found it? Oh, whoa! Faded. That has happened so many times this seed.
Oh my goodness, that was... And we continue on.
And we just soldier on.
Oh.
Or, we're just practicing this room. That was completely intentional.
We were just getting everything ready here. You know, get the blocks out of the way.
Yeah. Just getting mentally prepped for the Gaina's Tower climb. Just making sure your muscle memory is there.
Yep. And, okay, so Penny Royal is going to go ahead and start by going up the stairs. So we'll finally pick up the boots.
Up the stairs? That is a curious choice. Because I'm pretty sure Penny knows how to do the Harapot strat.
Right. Now, I can also understand it's...
Oh, maybe they don't know the bootsless one.
Right. Now, there are a couple lineups that you can do for that, but I also completely understand just... It also isn't that much time to just climb the stairs.
Yeah, it's 30, 40 seconds.
And there are those boots.
Hour 55 boots, you're probably feeling a little bit behind now. When they've been there the entire game. Like, I think Penny... when did Penny was on Mountain a little bit after KillerApp, like right behind, but... yeah, I could have had those almost an hour ago.
Mm-hmm. But ooh, okay, almost goes into that center hole. That is not the hole you want to go into, but Moldorm does go down. There's that GT small key, the green pendant, and we're likely going to be seeing Hera big key chest down here. By the way, we are on
Nope.
Oh. And by the way, we're on check 15, 16, 17. There's Bombos, by the way, finally.
Oh, finally, now I can do cold stare. Oh.
And I think Penny Royal has... Yep, Penny Royal has enough Ars to do that without having to resort to magic.
Yeah, I forget the exact one. I think you can actually just walk through it with the 14. I think 14 is actually where the cutoff is. If you don't use like hookshot or anything, you can just walk through it with 14.
Yeah. So, and on one hand, I understand you've got some boots checks which are quicker, but unfortunately we know that the answer for where that Mizrameyer big key is up in Hera. And silver arrows just make things so much nicer. Oh.
Yay!
Hey! And 21 is the answer.
Oh my gosh, you were right.
You were right. No, you're the one that said 21.
Oh no, I said 4, and then you said just short of worst of tile room.
Oh, I had said 17. So in chat I had put 17.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, congratulations to Luna Reza Iran, who won a lot of channel points. And Lopoi, actually, our tracker as well.
All right, let's see some good old Ganon's tower climb here.
All right, and where is Penny Royal going at this point? Yeah, because Penny did, I'm pretty sure it cleared out desert at this point.
No, Penny never got the Turtle Rock Small off the torch.
Oh, you're right. So had to come back here anyway, or ended up having to come back here anyway. This is still going to be good for them, but... And that one spike block giving KillerApp a little bit of consternation, but we're through the gauntlet.
Now does Penny... Oh, Penny's going to go through all of Turtle Rock for that one check.
Now, it's going to be required.
Yeah,
least.
You got to do it anyway, but again, it puts you on the mountain. Maybe this time you'll be a little bit more incentivized to finally do the Hera basement.
Right.
This is the last time you're coming up the mountain, except for go mode.
And I don't think Penny Royal has any other available checks. They did end up making the Northern Hyrule checks. And at least we have half magic without the lamp.
True. Let's see. KillerApp's climb just going perfectly fine, just kind of cruising along.
Yep, and doesn't even have to worry about the chime going off while climbing the stairs.
Oh gosh, it took me so long. I had I had some people that I regularly run with who were like, "I'm gonna yell at you the next time you forget that change happened." For anyone who was listening, there used to be a glitch where, like, if you tried to climb stairs while that little jingle that keeps playing right now went off, you just get, like, soft locked. They fixed that eventually, so it's not a thing anymore.
Right, but it's still, especially for racers who had to worry about that, or even got burned by it during races as well by despawning, because it would despawn all the enemies, so
Yep.
you couldn't get through here. But yeah, I would say it was fixed recently, but I think it was probably about a year ago, maybe at this point.
So it was a hot minute ago at this point, yeah.
Yep, and that last post Moldorm to
Penny. Penny just spent their key on lava chest.
Oh.
So they're gonna get to Laser Bridge and then realize they still can't do Trinex.
Yep. Meanwhile, ooh, I think that counted as a triple right there.
I heard 3 little boop boop boops. And a double. 3, 2, 1. Here we go.
And this is a great setup for that. And 3, 2, 1. Very well done.
You rhymed.
And we find out that Aghanim, I'm sorry if this is spoilers for a 30-year-old game, but Aghanim was hiding Ganon all along. But here we are. This is the end game for KillerApp. Oh, we never checked. Oh, that's right. Penny Royal hasn't checked Mimic Cave yet. So this is a new check for them. But yeah, we've got 4 phases of this Ganon fight. This is going to be 12 slashes. And Ganon compliments us on our incredible insides.
Delectable.
Yep. Also, whole grain breakfast, good for you.
I think that was a 1-in-1 there that we just saw. So very cool.
Yeah. Well, we're still on the 1 part, but yeah, it looks like 1-on-1.
Oh, was it?
Yep, 1-on-1 indeed.
Nice.
And Pennyroyal is trying to figure out where to go, but we are in phase 3 for over on Killer App side. Where the biggest mystery is how many times will Ganon teleport?
One. Very, very nice. Thank you, Ganon. I do have places to be eventually.
Oh, nice torch glitch.
Good setup.
All right. And down goes Ganon. All right, that's the sword up. Go ahead and get your GGs in chat as Killer App is about to finish this race.
And with an official racetime.gg finish time of 2 hours, 4 minutes and 30 seconds, we have our winner in Killer App. Your GGs in chat. And it does also look like that Pennyroyal is choosing to be done with the race. A race well run. But joining us here is Killer App. GG's.
Hey, GG's. Thank you.
Very well run. So initial thoughts on the seed. How did you feel during that seed? Because we were wondering, like, how far behind did you potentially feel the entire time? Because the opener was kind of fun to watch, where you kind of like tripled on a desert palace almost.
Yeah, right at the beginning there felt really bad, but it coupled it right when I got to Dark World. Did a lot of the overworld checks and seemed like nothing paid out except for the couple items in Hype Cave there. So it did feel pretty behind early on, and then felt okay when I got the boots up in Penhera.
Yeah,
unfortunately, I thought that was the last time I'd see that place. But yeah, not much to say. That's just a trolley go mode location.
Yeah, this entire seed was pretty rough. You actually kind of got bailed out by just being a little bit more thorough, because the thing that really like put you back into it, because you were only slightly behind, like going into Dark World and whatnot. It was the flute, because the flute gave you your bow, you got to the mirror, you got on the mountain. All that happened so much quicker for you, and Penny just walked right by the flute, and then also walked by, and then because they went into speaking of the devil, Pennyroyal, GG's.
Hello, GG Killer App.
Hey, GG, man. The seed was pretty bad. But,
Yeah, that's it. It's been a while since a seed pushed me past 2 hours for any reason. Nonetheless, one I didn't finish in 2 hours.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, we were just talking about the flute location. I think that was the kind of like it's rando being rando. You had a slight lead throughout that entire beginning, and then the flute, I think, just put Killer App just in the right place at the right time, because Killer App didn't go to pod without the bow. Killer App was able to go right up the mountain, grab the boots and whatnot, all in like one go kind of thing. So I think this is just victim of circumstance kind of thing, because you both ran phenomenally otherwise. Minus one Ice Palace death, but we were not going to talk about that too much. How did you feel about the seed overall?
One Ice Palace death and one poor Lambo fight that made me redo the end of the desert that made me sad.
Oh, you both.
You did what I did the same thing.
Nice.
Yeah, I went all the way there, and I was like, I don't have enough magic in or bombs to finish this fight. I'm just saving quit. That felt awful.
I had magic, and I missed 2 shots of fire rod, and then tried to get the kill with bombs, and one of the bombs blew up in the air and didn't hit Lambo. So
Oh, no.
it's just...
Yeah, it's tricky.
Yeah, I think everyone was glad that was not where progression ended up being.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because you both immediately afterwards, I think, when you realized either your mistake or whatnot, just save and quit, and then went to Graveyard and got your progression. You're like, oh, all right, they probably don't feel too bad about it now. But I imagine both of you at that point probably felt pretty behind having made that little goof. But you both did it, so.
Yeah. Just a minor blip in the whole shebang.
And actually, KillerApp, as a question, what prompted you to skip out on the front of Escape?
I've just played all this entire tournament. I just haven't been rewarded for doing Escape when it's in Logic. At that point, I had a lot at that time. I was only missing the the Meyer big key when I found the Escape small. So I just kept putting it off. I'm assuming that's where the lamp was.
Yep.
Either place. But,
Yeah, and then as we were remarking, of course, Cold Stare is hiding the half magic.
mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, as a nice little like, as a nice little. Oh yeah, did you remember to bring magic the first time? Oh. Wouldn't you like to have this?
Also, shout out to the ending there. I was in Hera doing my stuff and thinking about how I had accidentally skipped Mimic Cave when I was at T-Rock. And then I got boots and was like, ooh, stuff that's not Mimic Cave, go! And just completely wrote off the basement. So at the end there, I was completely blank, lost, no idea where my answer could be. But up until that point, the seed was, awful, but not too tough mostly. It was pretty straightforward, just do everything.
Yeah, but do everything. It was just like, I think it was just the flute that kind of flipped the tables on this one, because it just put KillerApp in the right places with the right things so that they didn't have to double or triple dip, say like Pod, for example, because you missed the mirror on your first time in there. So that's really, I think, the decider in this, and that's the rando being rando. It happens.
Exactly.
So, let's talk about Sorcerer. If you want to, you have better ideas or details on this. Let's talk about what this means for your group.
Yeah, so Group F is looking pretty fun. I think that the title up in the up in the stream is pretty apt right now.
Indeed.
Because I think so. Penny Royal, if you win, actually, I think whether you win or lose, you have a chance to go to groups. If you win, then you've got a chance for a 3-way tie, though. And then if Homemade Beer defeats KillerApp during y'all's final race, we've got a 3-way tie at the top. Or if Penny Royal, if you lose and KillerApp defeats Homemade Beer, that puts you in as the group runner-up.
Yeah, I know the race yesterday was pretty, or 2 days ago was pretty important because I had beat Homemade Beer in the first race between us. So by winning on Monday, I got the first round of tiebreaker against Beer. So I do still have a decent shot if KillerApp beats Beer, or if I win against DVO, I think are the two paths there.
Yeah, these 2 matches left. But, I wouldn't be surprised if it's a 3-way to decide it. That'd be the most fun result. But
yeah, that'd be real good.
Rando's always the final decider. So.
Yeah, what even happens in that case? Like, do you all run the same seed? I haven't looked at the main tournament document in a hot second, but what would happen in a 3-way tie case?
I would have to look it
I'm
up.
hesitant to answer this just because I am a tournament admin. If I say something wrong, people might take it seriously.
Oh, so no pressure.
I'm pretty sure I have an answer here, but I don't want to give it without making sure.
All right, well, we'll just wait to see what happens with the remaining races. It may be a moot point anyway, so we'll see what happens, and have fun with that group, and good luck with your future races. Do you folks have any closing thoughts on this race before we close up shop here?
Just thanks for the restream. Thank you, SpeedGaming. Thank you, all the tournament organizers putting this on. It's always fun every year doing this. So just good luck the rest of the way, Penny Royale, and hope to meet you again.
Yeah, good luck in GG to you as well, KillerApp, and thank you guys for all the restream shenanigans as usual.
Absolutely, yeah. This was very fun to commentate, and y'all put on such a fantastic show as well. So we appreciate y'all a lot.
Well then, very good. Let me start the closing up, and then I'll let Sorcerer Finch close us out officially. Just so you folks know, on Speed Gaming 1, or just Speed Gaming, Speed Gaming 5 and Speed Gaming 3, there are other randomizer tournaments going on right now. So if you want to check those out, now's the time to go over. They just started a little while ago, about an hour ago. So those are things you can check out. This tournament is in its last week of qualifiers. There's going to be plenty more races. And I just want to say thank you to our tracker, Lapoy. Thank you to my co-com, Sorcerer Finch. And thank you, everybody, for being here and watching. Sorcerer Finch, any final thoughts before we close out?
Yeah, what a seed. What a key sanity seed. Please make sure to drop a follow for our runners, commentators, tracker. Lapoy, thank you so much for keeping us honest, item-wise, and thank you, Slumberjack, as well. I think we've figured out it was like either the first or second time we've commentated together. And thank you, watchers. Make sure to drop a follow as well for the Speed Gaming channel, Speed Gaming, and then Speed Gaming 2 through 6 for more randomizer fun. But everyone have a great rest of the day, and take it easy.